Today I want to show you how to use the workshop together with an anti-recoil setup. If you use a semi-automatic weapon and you want to achieve a perfect recoil result with the workshop, then the following is the best solution. It will be a bit more complex, but if you just follow the video, it will be very easy. However, before we get into the details, please watch this video in advance. A lot of what I will show you today is building on top of the knowledge of this video. And to shorten today's video, I will not show those basics another time. So please watch the video if you haven't done so yet. And if you are on a controller, then please watch this video now, which is showing all requirements for controller users. It goes over all the basics that controller players must know when using the workshop. You can find a link to both of these in the video description. And just as a reminder, today's video works just as well for mouse users as for controller players. But let's start with our starting position. Here I have a semi-automatic rifle, and on the right side you can see my button bindings. At the top we have a typical rapid-fire setup. You can use any rapid-fire setup, so it doesn't have to be the same as mine. Just make sure it is perfectly optimized before you start with the workshop. Here you can see how the current result looks like. As you can see, the bullets are way too close to each other to trace this. We must fix that before we start. I will create a manual recoil spreader. It will spread out the bullets by 10 degrees. You can use other values, or maybe your weapon doesn't even need this. Not every weapon has such a tight recoil pattern as this weapon. Once this is done, I will shoot 3 patterns at the wall. As you can see, the bullets are now spread out much better. This makes it easier to trace those bullets. Once all patterns are done, I will deactivate this binding, and I will do the same for the rapid fire. The reason behind this is that these two will otherwise ruin my tracing results. Next, I will create a new binding with a normal fire action. This will be my workshop. I will enter the workshop and set the magazine size to 21. By using Google, I have found out that the fire rate of my weapon is 450. After that, it is time to trace the bullets. Just like in my original workshop video, I will now trace all 3 patterns. I will accelerate this process a bit to save some time. Once that is done, I must accept the result. I can otherwise not test the outcome. I will also have to delete the right trigger binding in this sequence. It will otherwise interfere with the rapid fire. To check the result, I will activate my 2 bindings from before again. The result is kicking up way too much, so adjustments have to be made. I have 2 options now. The first one is to delete the workshop, create a new one, and then adjust the X and Y scaling values. then save the result and check if it got better. That is very tedious. What I will do instead is much faster. I will enter my recoil spreader and use that as my scaling option. By changing the magnitude, I am adjusting the scaling. Let me try a value of 5. As you can see, there is still too much vertical recoil. This means that I must lower it even further. I will change it to 0 and try that instead. Surprisingly, there is still too much vertical movement. Because of that, I must change the angle to 180. That way it moves down instead of up. Let's try 5 again. This is now far too much, so let me try something close to 3. As you can see, this is now basically perfect. If you still have some leftover horizontal recoil, then you can remove it by using a second recoil spreader. Just copy this one and paste it into a new binding. This time use an angle of 90 or 270. The steps are the same ones. Change the magnitude until the recoil is gone. Alternatively, delete your workshop result, create a new one, but this time change the X scaling to a better value before accepting the result. At last, if you want to save workshop results for several weapons in one configuration, then watch the following video. It will show you how to handle lots of weapons within one configuration by using groups. Each group will have its own workshop result.
So guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button or maybe even subscribe to this channel to not miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Also, contrary to popular belief, this channel is not an official XIM channel. I run this channel in my free time to bring you guys the latest XIM news and tricks. So if you want to support what I do, then maybe consider to join the YouTube channel membership. Channel members usually get around 1 to 4 weeks of early access to all new videos. Plus, we also have a nice little Discord to discuss XIM settings and other stuff. But that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching and I will maybe see you in the next one.